But that's a big decision, right? Like
Yes.
at such a young age to decide to be a judge. I mean,
Yes.
of course, it might have been offered, but it's still to take that decision to be a
Yeah.
judge, leave being a lawyer of repute.
Honestly, I decided right away that I'm going to accept this offer of judgeship when Chief Justice M.B. Shah, who was my Chief Justice then, judge from Gujarat, and later went to the Supreme Court, asked me to become a judge of the High Court. But interestingly, I must share this with you. I accepted judgeship at 38, and then my appointment was not coming for 2 years. And one day I walked to Chief Justice Y.K. Sabarwal with a letter written by me and my colleague, Justice Sharad Bobde, who was asked to become a judge at the same time. And we both had a conversation and we decided we'll pull out of this now. For me, it was also a very personal issue because my late former wife was suffering from cancer for since 1998. And there was no light at the end of the tunnel on when my appointment was coming through. So there were a lot of personal issues which I had to take a call on, like finding a place to stay, so on and so forth. And I just thought that, this was putting a tremendous burden on my own personal life. So I walked into the office of the then Chief Justice, Justice Y.K. Sabarwal, and I said, "Sir, I've accepted this, but can you now please let me go? Because there's too much going on in my own personal life, and I'd just like to lead my own life. Not that I'm concerned about earning more money or just the allure of being a lawyer, but just this uncertainty and, the fact that my wife was suffering from cancer and I was her sole caregiver at that point of time. We had 2 small children.
Your sons?
My sons, yes. The 2 girls came into our life much later. And Chief Justice Sabharwal said, he said, "Beta, these are very important constitutional offices and you can't just change your tack like this." Then I told him what the issue was and he said, "Okay, come to me next week. I'm going to Delhi this coming week and I'll talk to the Chief Justice of India, the Law Minister, and say that 2 of these people want to pull out." And he said, "If I can't give you some light at the end of the tunnel in a week, then, your way is the highway." And he came back from Delhi in 2 days and said, "Well, your appointment is on the anvil. You're going to be appointed. The warrant of appointment is coming next week." And that's how both of us, Justice Bobde and I, stayed on. And as it so happens, both of us became Chief Justices of India.
Right. But didn't you ask your dad for his opinion on this matter? Like, what was his advice? He was also Chief Justice, longest serving Chief Justice.
He was, in a sense, he was happy when I accepted judgeship, but he said that the call is yours because he told me, a lot of people outside would look at, not the glamour exactly, but, the responsibilities which are entrusted to a judge. But it's a hard grind. And only someone who's been in the system for 24 years knows what a hard grind it is.
You've seen that. You were the only child of your
I have a sister.
You have a sister, sorry.
Yes.
Huh.
And,
but you've seen that hard grind that your dad went through,
I
right?
had and I hadn't, because judgeship was very different when my father was in office. You didn't have the complexity of the law, the volume of litigation which has now come into our courts, the pressures of just the volume of caseload which every judge has to deal with. And apart from that, just the new areas of law which have come, the intense scrutiny on judges as a result of social media, all of this was not there. So interestingly, when I asked my father about whether I should withdraw, he looked at me and said, "I think you're right. You need to withdraw because it's a decision for you. You have to live your decision all your life. Nobody else lives your decisions, and especially something like this. Once you're a judge for life, in the sense, even if you retire at 62 or 65, people still think that you are a judge in the sense that they look upon you with that sense, the sense of expectation of respect." And so he was completely with me when I decided to withdraw my candidature, which also was a little reminder of the fact that, the collegium system can sometimes, have produced these results. I mean, had I pulled out, I don't know whether the system would have been good or worse.
Click here to watch the full episode.